Hopefully the stream does not get interrupted by the internet again as soon as I move my phone. I'm gonna go sit down. I'm gonna keep staring at my phone. And hopefully it does not stop streaming just because I moved it. Or I might move myself. Alright.
Okay. Now you're streaming.
Now we're live. Finally we're live. I don't know how the stream sounds though. I want to make sure they can hear you at least.
Okay. Yeah.
Finally live and functioning. So sorry. The quality might be dipping dramatically throughout this whole podcast. It has been a freaking chore trying to get the freaking signal operational from either one of our devices. Here joining me, as I said before, is my featured co-host, CATNIP Valentine.
Yo, what's up?
Represented by this plushy kitty cat. This is Cat. So at least I have something to talk to, not just the phone. Even though you hear her here, she's really there. Today's movie that we're reviewing, I'll put her closer to the device, is, let me see. Let me get all the details on here logistically correct.
Okay. You gotta say, like, yo, everyone, what's up? The topic today for our podcast is Dead Silence.
Oh, well, that's why I have you here, damn it, so you can say that shit.
Uh-huh.
I'm barely putting on my bandana. Don't you see, I'm barely getting up. I'm barely getting ready here.
It says two watching. I don't know, is it just me and you, or?
There's probably somebody watching. I've been posting this for a minute. Maybe there's somebody who is trying to be like, oh, what is this podcast? Why are they even trying to talk anymore? If they
Let us
can't
know in the chat who you are. Let us know if you're watching.
I swear to God. All right, for sure. Back to the logistics part of this podcast. Let's see. Dead Silence came out in the year of 2007. It is a horror / mystery movie. It is an hour and 29 minutes long. It felt like an hour. It felt like about an hour.
It felt like an hour.
I think the 29 minutes, like you could probably chop up like maybe 10, 15 minutes to like the credits. You know, the intro and the outro maybe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know, it's a decent movie. I like this. This movie was pretty dope, pretty interesting. I like the horror aspect.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies because I hate dolls. I can't stand dolls. I never play with dolls. Dolls freak me out. They get possessed. I don't want them in my house.
I know this sounds so crazy, but do you hear yourself on the stream? Well,
Hold on.
I know this sounds so crazy, but do you hear
Hello?
stream? Well, hold on. I say so. I say yeah. So you can turn it off. Yeah, you can turn it off now. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I sound good.
Okay, for sure. Nice, wonderful. I am so happy. Okay, like we were saying, Dead Silence came out 2007. A horror mystery movie, right? About puppets. It's a ghost movie about puppets. Nobody likes puppets.
Ventriloquist.
A ventriloquist, to be specific. This is not a puppet. I can pretend to make it talk. Look at me. No, but no, it's not. It's just a plushie. Now
I was thinking, like, is she real? Like, is this based on a true story? Because, like, I was, like, hallucinating this bitch. She was, like, in my nightmares, like, Mary Shaw and shit.
Mary Shaw is pretty crazy. She's
scary,
really scary. So, um, before we get started with the movie itself, do you have any? Would you say that you have any experiences with paranormal stuff involving dolls or stuff like that in your history? I have one story, but I want to see if you have any.
I don't have specific experiences, but a friend of mine did. I'll tell the story. So she told me that she had a Chucky doll one time, and that her and her brother threw it out the window, and it fell on top of the garage, and they could see the garage from their window. And I think I went to her house and I saw the doll there, and I'm like, well, what the heck? Or I don't remember if I saw it, or I could see the like her garage from her window.
Wow.
And then she's like, yeah, so in the wintertime it would snow, and in the snow you would see like little footprints around his body, like tiny shoe footprints, like his feet, like he was walking around. And then you would see his hair turn from orange to blonde, like his hair color changed, like he's fucking alive or some shit. And then the other story was about she had a doll, right? And she was in the living room, and supposedly from her room she could see like things being thrown from the side out of her room. So she went in her room and she saw a doll on top of the drawer in one position, and then she saw a whole bunch of stuff on the floor, and she just left it alone, and she left. And then she went back in the salon, and then she saw things being thrown again out of her room. And then she went back, and the doll was in a different position. And then so they took the doll apart and they put it in a bag, and they were gonna throw it away, but they left it in the house. And they said they left, and when they came back, the doll's body parts were out of the bag. Like the bag was ripped open, and all the body parts were out of the bag. And it was like she was trying to escape from the bag and put herself back together.
So it was a possessed Chucky doll, you said?
Yeah, a possessed Barbie doll and a possessed Chucky doll. And then there's this one, I've seen some YouTube videos of dolls being possessed. When people were playing with Ouija boards, there was this teddy bear that just started moving, like looking everywhere and shit. And these people got scared and they ran away.
Ouija board. That's crazy.
Yeah. So the movie kind of reminds me a little bit of those old movies like Leprechaun and Chucky. So I thought it was gonna be interesting, right?
Okay.
But I was like thinking the doll was gonna kill people. I was kind of like a little disappointed that it was Mary Shaw that was killing me through.
I don't know. Billy seems pretty scary.
Like stalking people, and he was doing these jump scares, which was good. And then I did like that she was the serial killer instead, because it was different. You know, it was different. So I was like, oh, this is different. This is pretty decent.
Well, I thought it was really, really neat.
What about your Pikachu story?
Oh, you know about the Pikachu story, but nobody on the podcast knows about the Pikachu story. So I will start with when I was young. I was living with my mom in the apartment, and we were all kind of sharing the same space together. And I had a pillow of a Pikachu plushie pillow. And one night I woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm not sure if this is a dream anymore because I asked my mom about it. She says that no, that never happened. You must be crazy. But anyways,
She's trying to hide it from you.
Oh yeah, sure, whatever.
She's like, don't ever talk about it again.
Don't ever bring it up in this house ever again. That is not a story we talk about in this house. So I wake up in the middle of the night, and the pillow, I'm not holding my pillow, my Pikachu pillow. So I kind of move the covers a little bit, and I look around, look for my pillow, and I look to the side, and I see it, but it's like standing upright in a weird way. and it turns around and it has like it already has eyes on it, but like it had like angry beady eyes, and it was staring at me and it was making these like hissing noises and it was trying to come at me. I'm like, oh my god! So I got scared. I got up to the blanket.
Noises, and they had these black beady little eyes. Like,
Yeah, it was trying to kill me. So I'm like, I put out the fucking blanket over myself and I started kicking the shit out of my mom, who she was sleeping on the opposite side of the bed. We were all sharing the same space. We were kind of moving, I think. We were in between places. So long story short, like I kicked the shit out of my mom. She got up. She saw what was going on. She grabbed it. She took it outside and set it on fire. And I've never heard about that thing ever again. And I'm like, I don't know. That was some crazy ass dream. I swear to God. I don't even know. I don't even know what's real anymore. What is real? I swear to God. But yeah, those are pretty interesting possession stories that have to do with dolls. That are pretty interesting. So let's get started.
What
with,
about
Okay.
There's this one movie I grown up seeing about a doll that's funny. It's from the movie Tales from the Hood, where the doll, the voodoo dolls.
Don't go up there, girl. Not that movie. Not that movie.
It's creepy.
No, it is a scary movie. It is a scary movie. Well, that's one of those examples that I hate to be that kind of person, but you know, if ghosts were real, all the white people would be dead. You know what I mean? Because that movie, like that scene, that one story in that movie that you're talking about, I remember which one you're talking about. But go ahead, you can go ahead and tell everybody what you remember that part of the movie was about.
The slaves that had died from the white people. This lady, she was like I don't know, she was like a witch or something, and she put the spirits of the slaves into these voodoo dolls, and this white person moved into the house, and they're like, they don't want you living there, they're the dolls are gonna get you, and he wasn't listening, and then he's like, where does doll come from and stuff, and one of his friends died. He fell down the stairs, and the camera caught the doll on the tip of the stairs, like he tripped him. And then so the movie's good, but you know, at the end of it, he ends up getting like eaten alive by the fucking voodoo dolls.
But those were like, but these are like some really creepy voodoo dolls. They're not like, okay, I know that the puppets in Dead Silence are creepy, but they're not. They're like supposed to be not creepy, I guess, because they look like people.
Yeah.
Something like they call it the uncanny valley effect. I don't know, like even know too much about that, but things that look like people, but there's something different about it that make you feel kind of unsettled. Like, ew, this is weird. This is really creepy. You know, like really bad CGI or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, so like, let's get started with the review and analysis of this movie. But we started this podcast kind of late, so we're gonna have to kind of blast through most of this and see what good comes up. Hopefully, we get some more views for everybody that has been here joining us so far. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate. We have a like from somebody somewhere. It might be from my co-host or not from myself, because I barely got this thing to work functioning.
Oh, it's from me.
Oh, all right. Either way, we did have a second viewer, so I don't know where they went, but they probably went out into outer space. Yeah, they're in space now. They're out in the orbit trying to, find somebody else cool to talk, see.
Okay.
Come on. So let's start with the movie review.
Okay, can I talk about the story, pretty much what I wrote here?
Okay.
The story about what had happened to her.
Who, Mary Shaw?
Yeah.
I guess if you want to talk about Mary Shaw and the story, what happened to
Mary Shaw. So basically the movie's about the town killed Mary Shaw, the ventriloquist, because they thought that she killed a boy and turned him into a dummy, but they didn't know that she turned him into a dummy. So she wanting revenge on their children, the people who killed her, and their children, and their children's children. So that's what the whole movie is about.
So I'm not trying to break it down to its essentials, but it's basically like Nightmare on Elm Street, with Freddy Krueger, but with puppets, right? Because Freddy did kill those kids, and Mary Shaw did kill that boy.
Oh, Mary Shaw ended up killing everybody.
And everybody else too. But she started off.
She managed to kill all of them. That's crazy.
She started off with that little boy. Because he roasted the crap out of that lady. He's like, I can see your lips moving. You're not funny. You suck. Boo! Basically, making fun of her in front of everybody. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, kid, you are a hero. Like, this is why people cared so much about him going missing in the first place. Because, like, he was that one guy to be like, finally, somebody said it. Mary Shaw is not good. She sucks. I don't like her creepy dolls. I'm tired of her creepy ass in my freaking, always in the freaking auditorium, taking up all this space, thinking that she's funny, but she's not funny. You know what I mean? I'm tired of her dolls. I don't like Billy. Billy is annoying. Get him out of here, okay? And then, well, finally.
Oh, so the beginning of the movie, right?
Okay.
It's funny as hell because it's with Jamie and Lisa. So Jamie's like the main character, and his
I forgot her name. Lisa, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really funny because like she's the first kill of the movie. Well, second if you count the boy, but they don't really show that in the beginning. They show her. And it's so funny because like she's in the blankets when he comes home. And there's like blood everywhere on the floor. And there's like blood, like a period stain on the blanket.
Oh, Jesus. Like, yeah, no, I do know. I know what you're talking about. You know what? It's not a period. It's his reaction. It's his reaction.
He should have been like, dude, are you on your rag or something?
No, I didn't even write it down. I'm like, the period jokes and his reaction. He wasn't mad. He wasn't even scared of the blood. Like, I would be legitimately worried if I seen blood like that. But no, he was upset. He's like, what the hell is this, Lisa? What the hell? Like, she pranks him all the time. Like, this is just a normal, regular thing that happens all the time. Like, damn, Lisa, you really are one to worry about. You know what I mean?
It's just funny. Like, he should have been like, are you on your period? Like, what the fuck?
What is this? What the hell is this, Lisa? God damn it. I thought we talked about this.
You gotta wash the blankets now.
I swear to God, girl. I swear to God. Here, I'm gonna set this up somewhere where it's visible. And, freaking can you see?
I like the music soundtrack for the movie. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, the soundtrack was probably my favorite thing of the whole movie too. The movie itself was it was.
It's kind of like Exorcist sounding and shit.
You know, they took what they learned from making Saw and they used it in this movie. You know what I mean?
You don't gotta stand for your phone.
No, I don't. I'm using a roll of duct tape. Can't you see? It's a unique fix to a unique problem. There you go.
That's pretty cool, your setup, though.
You're pretty cool.
Oh, another story about, this is why it was one of my favorite movies. Like, it just added to my favorite more because of this little experience. Me and my sisters were watching it, and when the movie finished, we heard like 3 knocks coming from my sister's closet, which was behind me. And then my sister was kind of like sleeping against the wall, and then my other sister was like in a chair or something, or on the bed sitting next to her. And we were all like, who's knocking? And then we're all like, it wasn't me. And I got spooked because I was next to the closet and they thought it was me, but I was like, it wasn't me. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you're not gonna believe.
Or is it too dark? I think it's too dark in here now, huh?
Oh yeah, it's too dark. Where's the light? Turn on the light.
There you go. It's still too dark. Damn it. Oh well. Oh well. I was trying to make it cool with the color lighting, but it's not bright enough.
Yeah, what are you trying to do?
Like I said, I wanted to use the special colored light, but it's not bright enough.
Yeah, what are you trying to do?
The special colored light.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Turn off the audio from your stream.
Okay. I want to hear to see if I'm clear. Like, it will sound a little glitchy. But I think it's clear.
You sound clear to me. Just ask me if I can hear it clearly. Let me see.
Oh, there's a scene in the movie where he puts, like, the doll in the beginning in the motel next to the window. Like, it's alive and he wants to have a great view or some shit. Like, why are you going to put it next to the window? And then, have that scary-ass, crazy-ass experience that he had.
You treat it like it's a living thing. It's gonna freak you out like it's a living thing, I guess. You know what I mean? That's so funny. That's a good point. That scene is so classic, though. I think that's probably, out of the whole movie, which does have a lot of good scenes packed in it, here and there, the red light scene where he's sleeping, that is the scariest scene in the whole movie. That is the scariest scene in the movie. Because you know it's coming. Even he knows it's coming. But it's before he actually finally fully realizes what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what made the movie super fucking creepy to watch the second time? Like, you know that his dad is fucking dead already. And you're just watching him, like, talk to him. And he's a fucking puppet because Ella, which is his wife, is the perfect doll that Mary Shaw made. Or she's possessing her or something like that. And she made him into a dummy the whole time he was fucking at him.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like you said, the second time, you already know what the twist is. So you see how obvious it is what's going on. But at the same time, like I was watching certain things on the movie, right? And one of them was like how people back in the day when the movie first came out, they were saying that it was that the twist was like they saw it coming, that it was obvious. But I'm like,
really? For me, I did not expect that shit at all.
That's what you're saying, and so am I. But you know why we say that? It's because when we were watching the movie, we were young, we were kids. You know what I mean? So we legit did not see all the signs. We didn't read into the movie as much as like a normal adult would have. You know what I mean? So when we finally saw the twist, it was like, oh. But when the adults already, it's like, oh, something's fishy about this lady. Who the hell is this? Well, I don't remember having a stepmom. Who the hell are you? You know what I mean? Like, that whole thing, like I'm like, what the? Like, it is so strange. It should be so obvious. Like, but at the same time, that reveal at the very end, already skipping to the very end of the movie, right? Where he finds out that his dad is dead. His dad is a puppet. He's been dead this whole time.
Yeah, the way that he freaking finds out, he's like feeling like he's sick and shit. And like remember, he's about to pass out.
He hasn't screamed throughout the whole movie. I was paying attention to the very. I was trying my best to pay very, very close attention. He actually is the first thing that he does. The very first thing that he does in the movie is scream when Lisa scares him when he's under the sink fixing the sink. She scares him, so he's like, ah! But that's the first time you hear him scream. And then the last time you see him on screen, he screams, and Mary kills him.
I guess he was doing a good job not screaming through the whole fucking movie. I think he was just tired of like not screaming. He like gave up, I guess, and was just like, I'm gonna fucking scream so this bitch can kill me and get it over and done.
There's a scene skipping in between the whole movie, right? Where the cop he dies, right? One of my favorite character in the whole movie, and we're gonna start going.
Oh, and then his shaver fell. Remember, he was always shaving, and when he died, his shaver was like next to his body, like.
I was worried about his car. He's like, my car doesn't even have a full tank of gas. Come on, don't make me chase you. I don't want to chase you.
He was like, my car don't have a full tank of gas.
I love the cop. The cop was my favorite character in the whole movie. He was so funny. He had no idea what was going on. He's like,
no, that was weird for him to make it so obvious that he was like stalking him. Like cops don't usually make it obvious like that. Like they kind of keep it on the down low.
He was obsessed with him. He's like, you killed this girl, and I'm gonna make you pay.
Like, what the heck?
You killed her, and I'm gonna prove that you killed her. I have evidence. I don't have a lot of this dummy.
Arrest him or don't arrest him. Like you're just like stalking him at this point. Like what the fuck?
No, that's how real cops do. Real justice. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's try to go in order of the movie. Okay, let's start with the very beginning of the movie. We start off with the movie, and Mary Shaw lights a red candle in the room. And I think it's definitely a way of foreshadowing of the fire and all that crazy shit that was going on. I really like the color use of red with the background. It was really blue. You saw that, right? Everything was so blue. Everything was blue in the movie. For some reason,
bluish, reddish.
It was gray. It was gray. Everything was gray and blue. But there were a few things that were red, and the things that were red were red. There was bright red. So there was the red candles. So the music starts in the movie, and the music is going crazy. Okay, it's going really, really crazy. Okay, and then she's making the puppets in her little room, right? There's the blue and the red, battling a little bit. I don't like Billy. He's still very scary. He has that. I mean, you can see him right there. You know what I mean? That's Billy right there. If Mary Shaw wasn't the main character, like you said, if the Mary Shaw wasn't the main character, you could say Billy was the main character as far as in the villain for the movie, right? Because like you have this guy, he burnt down the whole theater, and Billy still found a way to get away. You know what I mean? But long story short, Billy.
The thing was, he was supposed to kill all the dolls that she made, that she was possessing, and he failed to kill all of them because he was supposed to kill the boy,
the lady told him,
and the mom.
The old lady, the crazy old, the Raven lady from the hospital, the lady from the funeral home, the one who was talking to the birds.
Marion?
Yeah, Marion. She told him to bury the doll, remember? And he did. He did. But then what happened? The cop digs up the doll because it's part of the evidence from a murder.
Yeah, but no, it was missing. Remember, they were missing. He's like, what? He's like, who buried the evidence up and who took it?
It was him. The guy, Jamie, buried the doll. He buried Billy.
He didn't bury it. He kind of just left it in the coffin, and I think he left it there.
No, he buried him. He buried him. But like the cop said, he's like, I dug him up because I saw that you were trying to bury him and you're trying to hide evidence. So Billy didn't even need to do anything. The cop did it. You know what I mean? The cop is like, oh, Billy and me are best friends now. You know, it's like, oh, I love. That's one of my favorite things. The cop was so funny. He's like, all right, I'll see you around, pal. And it makes it seem like he's leaving, right? All right, see you later, neighbor. And then Jamie's like, neighbor? And then he steps out and he sees that the cop has the room right next to him, and he waves at him with Billy's hand. I'm like, you Freaking asshole. I see what you're doing there. I swear to God. He was so funny. The first thing that you saw from the cop is him eating a donut. That's how you knew he was a cop. He was eating a donut. I didn't know he was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. Every single time he was on screen, I was laughing so hard. I couldn't stop laughing. Oh, okay, I gotta stop.
Yeah, he's my favorite too. That's why I was like sad when he died. I was like, no.
So we start off with the movie. Jamie is working under the sink, and Lisa scares him, and Jamie screams. That's the only time you ever hear Jamie scream in the movie, except for towards the very end, where he's his last scream. Okay, so I thought it was a pretty interesting detail. You know, you start with the scream, you end with the scream. You know, the director knows what he's doing. They get a mystery box at the door. A stranger, not somebody from Amazon or UPS or American Express or none of those delivery people. They just leave this mystery box at the door. This creepy box. Big
creepy box.
And they're already from a hometown where they have horror stories about spooky puppets. Yeah, let's just open this mystery box we got on the fucking door. Right, why not? Yeah, let's open this, honey. You know what I mean? Like, this is so... like, it's kind of frustrating, you know? It's almost like it's so dumb. Like, why would you do this? Stop. So they open the mystery box with no sense of danger. And then they started... they take out the puppet, and they're like, hey... Isn't this kind of remind you of that story about that lady? What was her name? Mary Shaw? You remember the puppet lady that they murdered? Remember? Like, it's such a...
I don't know if she said it like that.
She kind of said it like it was kind of like a funny beat, like a funny little child story. Like, it wasn't scary. Like, it was supposed to be scary, but they did not take it seriously. They thought it was a joke. They thought it was a legitimate joke. So they're like, oh, Mary Shaw, what was that poem? And then the tons of foreshadowing. Like, the whole movie was nothing but foreshadowing to what was going to happen. Everything. Like, every little detail you could say is a foreshadowing to what was going on. It was almost like so obvious. Even the twist was so obvious because of all the foreshadowing that they were using. And then Billy does that thing in front of Lisa where he opens his mouth. He's like... Yeah, remember? He got like right in front of her, and it's kind of like I think that was him threatening her, you know, because that's how they found her. That's how isn't that how like Mary Shaw kills everybody? She takes out their tongue, so he's like, you know, I'm gonna cut your tongue out, lady. Like I
don't think that of that.
I don't know. Okay. It looked like a threat.
I don't see too much foreshadowing. For me, everything was kind of unexpected for me.
Yeah, okay. I like you said, it's because I've seen the movie already once, so I know all the details already. So I start reading into the details. And with that being said, it's never said that she was pregnant until the very end.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Right.
The reason why Mary Shaw killed her was because she was pregnant with the last Ashton.
Right. Right. And she was
family.
And Lisa she knew she was pregnant, but she still hadn't told Jamie. Remember? Because she was still going around doing that thing with the shirt and the belly and the thing. You know?
Oh yeah.
So. And then finally, Jamie finds out about the baby. And then he finds out about his dad.
He didn't have time to freaking respond to it. He didn't say anything.
He had no time. He had no time to mourn any of it.
He had no time to freaking say anything about that shit. I would have been pissed. I'm like, bitch, you killed my baby?
They shot her with a shotgun. They shot her in the face with a shotgun. That's the only time I've ever seen somebody use a shotgun on a ghost. Okay.
We didn't tell people the way that she told him she was possessing a fucking it doll, like a fucking clown doll, and it was fucking creepy as hell.
Oh, don't get me started on clowns.
That one looks scarier than Billy. I mean, that shit was freaky as hell.
Oh
That
God!
shit was...
Please don't get me started on clowns. I do not want to go down that route. No, I do not mess with clowns. That is not. No, I could do anything, just no clowns, please. I'm just joking, but yeah, no, I don't mess with clowns. So we'll continue. So Lisa is pregnant because you could tell because of the way she's going around, but it's not an important detail, I think, but it is, I guess. But either way, it's a detail to be noted, you know. The thing where it gets
remember
really
when it
quiet.
gets really quiet?
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to do. I was like,
right before they kill.
Right before,
it's super fucking quiet.
Right before Mary Shaw appears in any way, it gets so quiet. It gets really quiet. And then you're like, what's going on? And you're like, oh no, I'm in danger. There's something wrong. Let me not mess around. Let me go find something to make noise, I guess. Let me make a fart sound or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's spooky. I think that's what makes it so scary. And I love how that's what they made the movie about, low key. And they made it about a bunch of things. You can say it's about a bunch of things, but I like that they really made, like, the dead silence is very important to the movie. It's like the more it adds that special flavor to the scary, you know. I'm not scared. I don't find ghosts scary. I don't think ghosts are scary. But puppets are scary. Now, possessed puppets.
If puppets are scary, ghosts should be scary too because they're possessing the puppet.
I don't know. I feel like a ghost that just flicks the light on and off or pushes the door open or whatever. That's not scary. But if it's a ghost that can make this thing, then that's scary. That's scary. But this thing, look at him. Look at that face. That's not scary. Okay. But that face right there, that face that Billy got. Yeah, I know. He put him back in the box. I don't want to see that face. Put him back in the box, please. Please. I think. Oh, and that's another weird detail. Mary Shaw didn't need to really kill that boy. She did it because she was petty, because he roasted her. But did you notice that he treated her like a son? She's like, oh, yes, mommy, I love you, mommy. That was so weird.
That was her saying that.
Yeah, but that's weird. That's weird. That's really weird, right? Why don't...
It's because she wanted children.
Yeah, like, that's what I thought, too. I'm like, so she was always crazy. But that's the kind of crazy that she was, you know what I mean? The kind of crazy that wanted kids, but she couldn't. And then she killed kids and made them into puppets. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Excuse me. Anyways, Jamie goes out for some Chinese because Lisa really wants some Chinese because she's pregnant and she has pregnancy cravings, right? He goes out to get Chinese. Lisa is messing around with Billy and gets a little freaked out, puts him under the blanket. Remember? And then everything gets quiet. And then Billy attacks, right? Like you said, it was
actually Mary.
Yeah, it was Mary. But the way that it looked at first, it looked so much like it was definitely Billy who did it, right? It looked like, the blanket moved off of Billy. It was on Billy. Billy attacked Lisa and killed Lisa.
No, Billy was on the floor.
No, Billy was on the bed with the sheet over him, and then she thought that the sheet moved, and then the sheet jumped up and then covered Lisa and threw her across the room, remember? And then she started and I even wrote down, like, she was, like, I remember, I loved the kills were really cool because they were very, very gory. I love
it. They ended up looking like from freaking...
they were like from the Ring, yeah. But the way that Lisa died, I think was the most goriest out of all the kills in the movie. Because before she died, she was throwing up blood, remember? she was like, "Bleh," and like blood, big buckets of blood were coming out of her mouth. And I'm just like, oh my God, they just killed the baby. And then again, they were going to kill her too. It doesn't matter what the baby, what happens to the baby anymore, right? So it's just like, ah! And then Mary's like, oh, so you scream, you gotta go. You know the rules. You know, the poem says if you scream, you're mine. So, you know, she screams and she drags her and she kills her. And then Jamie comes home with the Chinese, with the flour in his teeth, right? He's ready to get busy. He's so happy to be home. And then he slips on the blood. And like you said, he was like, he seemed so upset about the blood. He didn't even seem scared. He's like, hey, what the hell? I thought we talked about this. You know, so he makes his way into the bedroom, and just like Billy was put onto the bed, this time it was Lisa. Lisa was under the blanket on the bed. And then he pulls the blanket, and you see Lisa's dead face. All ajar, looking like you're looking like one of the victims from The Ring, like you said. Okay, so we cut. You know, I think there's some stuff that happens, and we cut to the next scene.
Then the
cops walk into the room. 2 cops. The one that matters and the one that kind of doesn't matter, but is there to give you explanation that they're cops and they're there to mean business, okay? And the other cop is a lady cop. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a big supporter of the police, but she was pretty hot. I'll let her arrest me. I would let her arrest me. I think that the guy cop, the main character cop, I didn't get his name. I didn't write it down. I'm just going to call him Blue Bloods. Because that's where I remember him from. I remember from the show Blue Bloods. And, give me a second.
You know whose death was kind of sad? Was the old man, because he was like innocent. And like, it was scary because you see like a hand, it looked like a child's hand or something, or Billy's hand.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that detail. That's interesting. Where did that happen? Which
he was like in the crawl space. He was in a crawl space, and then it was like pitch black dark in there, and then he had like a flashlight because Marion was in there or something like that. And then Mary Shaw killed him. And I was like, no, that's sad. Like, what the fuck? He's like innocent. He didn't do anything.
Oh, damn. It was during the flashes. I wasn't even paying attention to that because it happened so fast. You know what I mean? It's just like woof, 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 whoosh. That's crazy. That's a crazy detail. Back to the order that we were in. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. I got something on my phone. Let me see. The cops come into the room. One of them is eating a donut. One of them is a hot lady cop. The cop is one of the best parts of the movie, in my opinion. He is so mean, and he's very, very mean. He's a bully, but he's very funny. So it's kind of okay that he's a bully. He's really dumb, which kind of makes it okay. You know what I mean? The dude, of course they call him crazy, Jamie. They call him crazy. They're like, what do you mean a puppet? A puppet killed your wife? A ghost killed your wife? A what? What? Look, it doesn't make sense. Like, even me saying it out loud right now makes me sound like I'm crazy. A ghost killed my wife. Oh, you're just trying to get away with murder, aren't you, you son of a bitch? So no, I kind of get why the cops were giving them a hard time, but at the same time, it's always like those horror movie cliches where you're like, come on, why don't you believe him? Just believe him for 2 seconds, and you guys can help him, and you guys can solve this problem. Oh, no, they think he's crazy, and Jamie is obviously really traumatized from what happened, and he's trying to piece together what happened in his head. And then he goes back to his apartment. to relive the memory a little bit. But then he remembers. He goes home, and I remember seeing a really nice guitar and a really nice guitar amp. So he's a guitarist. He's a good musician. He must be, because that's some good quality guitar stuff that he had there. It was really nice. It looked like a Gibson, maybe a Marshall amp. I'm not sure. Didn't have a brand on it, Didn't have like one of those brand deals, I guess. Jamie goes back to his hometown, and it is now what? The ghetto. I swear to God, it was so ghetto. Everything was torn down. Everybody was gone. No, it was like a ghost town, literally.
Ghost town.
Everything. Yeah, the twist for the end of the movie was so obvious, because as soon as we walk into the room with the dad, like, it was kind of weird, because he was gray.
Yeah, his eyes were red and his face was pale.
No, his eyes look pretty normal, I think. They look kind of like doll eyes, if you'd ask me. But it was weird how, like, his stepmom, the first thing that she did was, like, hug him. She's like, I don't even know you. Who the hell are you?
She acted like she knew him and
Yeah. She was like his best friend. Like, you're like almost the same age as me. Wouldn't we have known each other from school? You know what I mean? No, they're like complete strangers, like total strangers. You know what I mean? He must not know anything about his dad. His dad. That detail when he was walking down the stairs with his stepmom, and he was talking about his father's past. The paintings. You saw that, right? That he painted
they were painted out.
He painted out his ex-wives from the family portrait. This guy was so petty that he painted out every one of his ex-wives, the mother of his child. Okay.
He's like, don't end up like one of those people with
the first one killed herself. What? What is wrong with you? You're literally traumatizing your son repeatedly. I swear to God, it's just like, I'm gonna not traumatize you. I'm gonna make it a piece of art, and I'm gonna hang it in the living room for you never to forget. Women ain't shit. You know what I mean? That's what Jamie learned from his dad. That's the only thing he learned about his old man. That he's a player and he doesn't trust women.
And he with a young ass woman, like what the
heck? Yeah, he didn't even seem too surprised. He seemed more surprised that she hugged him than the fact that she was married to his dad. It was so weird. You know what I mean? And then so that joke about, your dad isn't the kind of person to be mean or whatever. And he's like, then you must not be married to my dad. He's like, I know my dad better than you do, woman. Don't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? You don't know who you're talking to here. I know everything. You know what I mean? Okay. So we're finally at before he so he goes sees his dad. He has that meeting. And it's kind of obvious that the twist at first, but it's not that obvious. So we're gonna kind of try to ignore it for right now. And then he goes on and he goes to the funeral home where he meets the old couple from the movie. I call them, what was her name? Mary Ann, something like that.
Yeah. So I forgot the guy's name.
She was the opposite Mary. She was Mary Ann, and you had Mary Shaw. You see that?
She was Marianne or something.
And I like the fact that they kept her alive. For some reason, I thought they killed her in the movie. But I'm watching the movie again. No, she lived. She was holding the old man in her arms. She was crying. But she was still alive. I thought she died. Because I thought Mary couldn't copy your voice unless she killed you, right?
Mm-hmm.
but she copied her voice, but she was alive. You know
I
what?
don't know.
Yeah, the rules don't work. It doesn't. Like Mary's like, oh, I can copy anybody's voice. Okay, you don't tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want. Okay, I'm a ghost. Okay, I literally came back from the dead. Okay, you can't put limits on me. I am limitless. I am a spirit beyond God. You know what I mean? But no, don't mess with Mary Shaw. Okay, she's not one to be messed with. Okay. Um, yeah, we're kind of reaching the hour mark. We're gonna try to rocket through the rest of this stuff. Um, so we're at the funeral home. We meet the old couple. They kind of want to tell him about what's going on, but he doesn't. Oh, the old man. I do feel bad for him, but I don't like him. I don't like him. You want to know why?
No.
Those pictures that he takes of those people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he has to. That's for his job.
I don't care. I am on Jamie's side. I'm on Jamie's side. He said it right there to his face. How you're sick. How can you take these pictures? And right away, just like the old man, just like you said. Oh, this is my job. It's part of my job. I have to take these pictures. No, you don't. Well, no, you don't, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's documentation. We need to document.
I guess you're right, but this is messed up. He pops him up all nice about it, makes him look really nice. Like, dude, you're messed up, bro. I thought you were just there to do autopsies. But hey, it's a funeral home, okay? I'm not there to criticize people in their living, Let's move on, before I get myself in trouble with the funeral home people.
Mm-hmm.
We finally get to one of my favorite scene in the movie. The scene where where Jamie's sleeping his first night in the motel with the red light. And like you said, he props up Billy by the window like he's a person. Isn't that some weird stuff? Why?
Yeah, with a nice view at the window.
I swear to God, he's a freaking doll. And then you get all scared when you think he moves. Yeah, and then I think it's one of the first times that they show the dead silence in the movie too, right? Where they like it's the sink and it's dripping, and then it stops. Like you don't hear anything anymore. And yeah, I like that scene a lot. It's really scary. Let's see. It's the first time during that scene, the red light scene, that we see Mary Shaw's face as yeah, it's the first time we actually see her face, and she's a ghost already in the movie at that point. So I thought it was pretty cool. I think it was one of those classic horror monster ghost reveals. You know what I mean? Like when you finally see Michael Myers or Jason, something like that. I really like it.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene in the movie too. Because it was just really fucking creepy. It was really eerie and scary.
And then
I'm like, oh shit, what's happening? Oh shit.
and then the autopsy scene that came right after that whole thing with the old man. It was pretty intense. I don't know why I find it so unbelievable that this old man has this this camera from 1960 something. Like it's enormous. This camera's enormous. You know what I mean? But he takes a picture of Lisa's dead body, which I think is pretty messed up. You know what I mean?
I saw the views just went up to 2, and then it rolled, and then it went back to 1.
Yeah, that's how
so
it be.
Somebody came in, a lot of people came in, but then they dipped or something like that.
Yeah, we gotta be on schedule. We gotta keep doing this. We'll get people. We started off with 2, remember? Now we're still coasting on the 1. You're the 1. That's good. But we're gonna keep it going. So we're at the funeral home. The autopsy scene with Lisa. We get to the next scene. We have it's the funeral for Lisa, and Mary Ann comes out of nowhere to jump scare Jamie. That really did spook me the first time. The second time, I kind of knew it was coming, but I find it funny that she's just like she is kind of out of nowhere. She starts talking about Mary Shaw. She's the harbinger of evil. Watch out, beware. She's coming. Ooh, you know what I mean? And then her male old man friend comes through. She's like, don't pay attention to her. She's just crazy. Just shut up. Get back in the car.
Shut up. Get back in the car.
I mean, it was really mean. Everybody would be really mean to Marianne. I'm so happy that she lived throughout the movie. I'm so happy they didn't kill her. Because she was really nice. Jamie was really mean to her in the scene.
I was hoping the whole time they wouldn't kill the old lady or the old man.
No, I don't give a fuck about the old man. But the old lady, don't mess with the old lady, okay? She's alright. Anyways, we'll get to the next scene after the funeral. We have Jamie's driving around with Billy is riding shotgun right next to him after Marianne told him to bury Billy. It's weird. Like you said, why is it that Jamie is treating Billy, this doll, like a person? Why put him in the seat in the car like he's a person? Put him in the trunk.
Yeah, he shouldn't put him in the trunk.
That's what I'm saying. He put him in the fucking trunk. He killed your wife. Put him in the trunk, damn it, and then fish him out and throw him in the damn coffin.
Maybe he wanted to keep an eye on him. He's like, I'm gonna put you right here.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna let you get away from me, Billy. I'm gonna have my eye on you. And even Billy was doing one of these. He's like, he's like, I see you, but I'm not gonna stare at you, but I see you. Okay. We get to the cemetery and they bury Billy. So Billy finally Billy finally shows himself to Jamie as something that's alive. He's like this. He's like, I see you. He didn't say anything, And then Jamie's like, whoa. He closes the box and he buries Billy. And he goes off. And then he's like, oh, thank God, we got the return of the cop, and he comes back with Billy. He dug up Billy because he's evidence for the murder. I was so happy to see the cop, but I was so upset that he dug up Billy. But he made it he made it okay because he was so funny because of all the jokes that he was telling. It's just the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. He's at one point, like you said, the cop loved his electric shaver. Why don't you? I've been talking so much throughout this time. We're already past the hour mark, so I'll give you about 5 minutes. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the relationship that you saw between this cop and his electric shaver?
He loved his electric shaver. He was shaving all the time. He's like, I gotta shave my beard.
The first scene that I seen him with the actual shaver wasn't the first scene he was in the movie. It was when he was in the hotel room talking to Billy. Remember?
I don't remember what scenes he was shaving specifically.
He was shaving his beard, whatever, right, with the stupid shaver, and he was talking to Billy. He's like, "Oh, how do you get your skin so smooth?" Oh, well, that never works for me. Because he's talking to a dummy. I'm like, dude, stop making it so funny. I just couldn't stop laughing. It's so funny. Okay, let's continue on for a second, so we can blast through the rest of this stream for tonight. So
should we just skip to the end of the
No, we're almost there. I'm like more than halfway through my notes. We're gonna get through this. If I gotta skip through a note or two, we will. So the cop brings back Billy. Billy is now part of the gang again. Finally, we get a nice setup of the backstory. We're talking about we finally get the real backstory from the old man. Okay, before we get to the backstory, Jamie comes into that funeral home pissed as hell, and he shows Billy the puppet to Marianne, screaming at her, yelling at her at the top of his voice, showing Billy. He's like, "Tell me everything you know right now, damn it! Tell me everything you know." She's like, "Ah, get away from me!" And then the old man comes out. He's like, "Whoa, what's going on? Hey, calm down. I'll tell you everything you want to know. Just put the puppet away, okay? I'll tell you everything." Now he starts talking about Mary Shaw, the myth and the legend and the lore, right? That she's this old lady ventriloquist from back in the day, and she was very famous until one day a boy made fun of her so badly to the point where she got so upset that when he went missing, everybody thought that she killed him, which she did, but they didn't know that until somebody did know, and somebody murdered her. A bunch of people murdered her, and apparently those people are related to Jamie, and that's why Jamie is so important, and that's why Mary Shaw is going after Jamie, and yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get through this a little bit quickly. Finally, we get that story. The cop. Okay, so Jamie goes, finds out that information from his dad, and the cop catches up to Jamie at his dad's house and is about to arrest Jamie. And Jamie's like, "Screw you, I'm getting away from you." And he gets that phone call. It wasn't a phone call. It wasn't this dude at all. It was Mary Shaw pretending to be that dude to help Jamie get off from this murder. She was setting him up from the beginning. But little did she know that Jamie was not going to go down without a fight. So Jamie runs away, and the cop is still telling the best jokes in the movie. He's like, "Come on, I don't even have a full tank of gas in my car."
He's like, "Don't make me chase you.
Don't make me chase you. I will shoot you." Never touches his gun. Anyways, they finally make it to the stage, and it's pretty epic. I love the stage and the burnt down environment. It's so nice. It's so pretty. It is my favorite thing in the movie, aside of like the old. I think if they kept the feel where it still looks new, it would still look pretty cool. But I like that they made it look really creepy and burnt. Everything was burnt. Everything was all like run down and dirty, and it looked really creepy. I love that. Finally, we find out that Mary Shaw really did kill that little boy after all. I think that's what really makes this a scary movie.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we saw a 72-year-old some shit case.
It's so crazy. Like this has been up here this whole time and nobody's seen it. Somebody had to see that at some point.
Right?
That's what I believe.
People go to abandoned buildings and abandoned houses. Somebody should have saw that shit.
I feel like I don't know how I feel about those people particularly. I think like that.
Wait, didn't they have to take a boat to that place? That's probably why.
It was run down. It was old. But hey, I've seen people do crazier, get into places that are way harder and do crazier things. So, it all depends on what you're trying to do. But if you go into a haunted place, I don't think you're going to come back out. I think you're going to stay in there. Probably dead. But yeah, we got the little showdown with the copy in there. Let me see. This is the first showdown at the lake. I think this is the only showdown at the lake, right? They come back twice, at one time at the night. No, it's the only showdown. Where the cop brings out the shotgun, right? And then the curtain falls, and then they show all the puppets in the background. Remember? And then there's another curtain, and they pull it, and it's a clown puppet.
Yeah.
And then shaking back and forth and all that stuff. And it turns out to be Mary, and she licks his face. Ugh. I was like, ugh, it's creepy. It's already creepy, but now she's getting really freaky. She's
getting freaky with him. She's like, let me lick you. Let me lick your balls.
Oh my god, CATNIP. Oh my god. Mary Shaw is a cougar, I guess. I don't know.
She getting freaky deaky with them tongues, man. Them tongues.
Yeah, Mary Shaw is more better than just that ventriloquist. She has the Gluck Gluck 3000. Swear to God. And then let me see. They get into the fight. The cop. He brought the shotgun and shoots Mary Shaw straight in the face with the shotgun, repeatedly, at different faces that she would bring out throughout different dolls. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like one of my favorite things in the movie. Finally, we get some action in a horror movie. You never see that. And
you hear the music like.
Oh yeah, he's like, come on, boom, boom.
He's like, what's going on, Jamie? He's like, tell me what's going on. Like he knows, and then he's like, she's living in the dolls. He's like,
she's in the dolls.
She's living in the dolls.
I couldn't breathe. Oh, I swear to God, that's so funny. No, but that's so accurate. So accurate. And then I'm like looking like, when I first saw Jamie bring in that lantern, I'm like, is he going to use that? I remember he uses that. And he does. He throws it and he burns all the dolls. And then they try to get away, right? And while they're running because they're scared for some reason. I mean, you're not so scared when you're shooting all these dolls in the face. You're already running away. They fall. First one to fall is the cop. And I love this detail. This detail, I want to make it very clear. It's very important. The cop falls. And while he's falling, he's screaming.
He screams, yeah.
Because he's not scared. He's not scared of Mary Shaw.
Cow. He's not screaming for her. He's screaming because he's
falling. Thank you. But the rules, right? The rules. So before he hits the ground, he's falling down. She's like, bitch. She catches him in there. He's already dead. And then he hits the floor. Boom. I'm like, I'm sorry. But even when he dies, he's hilarious. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, they killed him so hard. He died before he hit the floor. You know what I mean? They did him so bogus. But you know what I think is cool, also cool about that scene, and funny, but cool at the same time? The same thing happens to Jamie.
But he doesn't scream.
He falls down, but while he's about to scream, he's literally like a hair of a scream out of his mouth. He grabs his mouth like this. Remember?
Yeah, he covers his mouth with his hand.
He covers his mouth with his hand because he remembers. Oh, this is what happened to the cop. He died because he screamed while he was falling. I gotta cover my mouth, even if I'm screaming because I'm falling. I can't avoid it, so I just gotta literally cover my mouth. He could have done that at the end of the movie, but he didn't. Because he was done. He's like, I'm so tired of this already. Just get it over with.
He's like, just kill me already.
You killed my dad. That's the last member of my family. Everybody in my life is dead. My wife is dead. My unborn child is dead. My dad is dead. My mom killed herself.
Yeah, it's kind of like, why would you want to live anyways?
Yeah, like, and Mary
I think he gave up. Like, he gave up. Like, let me just scream and get it over with.
It was over with. It was over. He just gave up at that point. And we're already kind of skipping to the end. Not too many things in between that happens. The falling detail, I like that. They made it seem to me, they made it seem to everybody that Jamie was going to be like this sole survivor, you know, the one that makes it out alive, you know. That I'm messing with you, that I'm making you believe that there's hope. But no. He burns Billy after Mary comes out. She's like screaming in his face. Oh, woo! Woo! I'm scared. I'm Mary Shaw. Woo! And he's like,
bitch, I'm burning the last dog.
Yeah, no, but he's not screaming. He's like scared, but he's just like, you know, he's like breathing. but like he's not screaming. You know, she's like, why aren't you screaming?
She's like, damn, I've been trying to get you this whole motherfucking
I guess
time.
she really can't hurt
She's
you.
like, scream, bitch.
She can't hurt you at all unless you scream. You're okay. Just, lose your voice. Cut out your voice box. You can never die. But yeah, so he burns Billy, and you think that's it. You think that's the end of the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's over. Everything is done. And then the reveal. The big twist. We already revealed it so many times. But let's do it the way they wanted it to be presented. They show you the dad sitting in the dark in the kitchen. I think it's the kitchen, right?
I don't know, maybe.
Or some room. Some room. It's a dark room. It's so dark you don't even know what fucking room in the house it is. So he goes into this room where he's like, Dad, what are you doing sitting in the dark? So he moves him, and he sees that the whole back of his dad is like open. Like somebody had carved open his back. You can see his back, his spine.
Yeah, and made him into a puppet.
And made him into a puppet. Just like Mary Shaw was made into a puppet when she died. Whoa! So that means his dad was the puppet. That means his stepmom was Mary Shaw the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And then he turns around and she's there and she's like, now who's the dumb?
You think that's scary? I think that's hilarious. She is the comedy genius. She is so funny. I think that's comedy gold. That is comedy gold right there.
Yeah.
She's like, she's so petty that she's like, I'm gonna kill all of you. Everybody in this town's gonna die because this little boy was making fun of me on stage. You know what I mean? She petty. She's really petty. And then I like how Jamie's last thing, he wasn't just screaming. He didn't just scream. He screamed out, "No!" Remember? He was like, legitimately just, "No! Please, God, why?" I was just like, bro. I feel you, man. I feel your pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, but
that was a good movie.
It was a great movie. It's one of those rare movies where everybody dies, and I like and one of those little last details that don't feel that important, but they are. Is I saw the very beginning of the end credits. It was said in dedication to Greg Hoffman. In dedication.
Yeah.
In dedication. So let's hear it out for Greg Hoffman. Rest in peace.
I was like, why dedication to him? Is this based on a true story or some shit?
Oh yeah, Mary Shaw got Greg Hoffman.
It felt like it was based on some type of true story.
Hey, CATNIP, you're so funny. I swear to God.
I'm like, no, not really. Like, what the fuck? Some lady killing people? That's not true.
I am so happy that I had you as a feature in this podcast. You made it so much more enjoyable, especially with me going on forever and ever. Have we agreed on for next week's podcast? Hopefully, it'll go a little bit more smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Have we agreed? Let's agree to something right now for our next stream. What do you think would be a nice feature film? Let's keep it on a spooky theme for our October.
Oh, there's a good movie I wanted you to see that I've been thinking about recently. It's one of my favorite old 90s film growing up. It's called House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill. I sound so familiar.
But it's like the 2000s version, not the old version.
Are you talking about a remake of a horror film? Okay.
I don't know if it's a remake. I think it's the original movie. I don't know if there's an original, but if it looks old school, then it's probably not it.
Mm. And look who we have here for our closing statements, our closed captions. My son. It's a little Jimmy.
That movie is freaky because they're like in a insane asylum, and they have to spend the night there and try to survive.
Oh, I think
that is haunted.
I think I remember this movie. I think I definitely remember this movie. Well, yeah, we'll put it on the channel.
My other favorite scary movie is that Ghost Ship. You gotta see that
Ghost
movie
Ship.
too.
Oh yeah, Ghost Ship. I like Ghost Ship. I like the story more than I do the concepts in certain ways. But it's still pretty funny. It's pretty scary. Has some really good parts in it.
I love
the music.
Soundtrack.
The music is so good. It has all the good heavy metal music in it too, like a Mudvayne. It has some Mudvayne.
Yeah.
Oh, you already know. You already know. Woo! Anyways, so with everything being said and done, we're gonna try to sign off. So this is gonna be our last. This is gonna be us saying goodbye. Hopefully by next stream we'll have things more set up with the intro soundtrack and outro soundtrack. But for right now, we'll make one up just because we're trying to have some fun here. So why don't you take us out, CATNIP? Just say goodbye to everybody for a good night, and I'll play us out.
Good night, everybody. Bye. See you next week. If anything. Alrighty. Bye. That's me, little teddy bear.
Let me see how I end this stream. How do I end this stream?
Press end.
I'm new to this. Come on. Yeah, look at my face. Take a close up.
You don't know how to end the stream?
I'm learning. Yep, there we go. I just gotta. Yeah. Bye. Bye.